Chemical fertilisers are central to the abundant food supply we're all accustomed to, yet the environmental impacts are well documented, everything from production energy requirements through to the pollution of air and water. And with an expectation from society for food production to be kinder to the environment and increasingly restrictive legislation likely, I wanted to understand how the dairy industry might meet this challenge. My name's Thompson. I'm a dairy farmer from Northern Ireland, and I undertook a Nuffield farming scholarship titled Fertiliser Reduction, a Roadmap for UK Dairy.
So, it looks a little bit wet when I was playing it.
I visited farms, research stations and businesses in the USA, UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Germany and Denmark, involved in everything from regenerative agriculture through to nutrient capture. My initial focus was on clovers, multi-species swards and soils, and while these are vital, they are not the starting point in reducing fertiliser use. The first step is to understand how nutrients move through our farms and the food production system. They are not consumed or destroyed, they are simply repackaged. With many farmers not realising they purchase more NPK nutrients in animal feed than they do in the fertiliser bag. And it's with this in mind, the Dutch have created a centralised nutrient accounting system. This gave farmers autonomy and flexibility over farm management, and efficient nutrient use was rewarded from bonuses from milk processors. And it changed farmer behaviour. Once farmers understood the ample supply of phosphate they purchased in animal feed, they had no reason to purchase additional phosphate fertiliser. It's not uncommon for a farm to find itself in a nutrient surplus, as cows are only 30% nutrient efficient. The challenge then becomes how to return any excesses back to arable farms to be refilled with energy. And there are various farm scale technologies available to recover nutrients, however they are only economically viable for the largest farms. By separating slurry solids on farm and transporting the solids to an anaerobic digester, where nutrient recovery can piggyback what is already an economic and energy positive process. The Natura company in Germany separates spent digestate into clean water and fresh granulated fertiliser products, including the granulated nitrogen, making circular nutrients viable. My final point is around grassland genetics and the recommended list system, which over the decades has delivered increases in yields and digestibility. However, I don't think this industry has fully explored its role in reducing fertiliser use and conserving circular nutrients. I find farmers voicing concerns over sward resilience, nitrogen leaching and phosphate acquisition.
Come on.
Further details can be found in my report at the Nuffield Farming Scholarships website. My overall conclusions are that preventing all nutrient loss isn't achievable. However, by monitoring nutrient flows, cycling excesses back to arable farms and modifying our parameters of grassland genetics, there are huge strides to be gained in reducing chemical fertiliser use on dairy farms. I want to thank the Nuffield Farming Scholarships, the Thomas Henry Foundation and my visit hosts, as well as my family and farm staff for making this scholarship possible.